Good morning, everyone. Today I want to speak to you about a force that can transform our lives, our outlook, and even our destiny. Not just any hope, but a hope that is rooted in something far greater than our circumstances, a hope anchored in a divine pulse that transcends what we see today. There's a powerful verse in the Bible that captures this kind of hope perfectly, Jeremiah 29:11. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." This single verse carries within it the essence of divine hope. It reveals something crucial. God has a plan for your life. You are not here by accident. You were designed with purpose and intention. But too often we let the challenges of life distort our vision. And we forget the power of hope that comes with knowing God has already prepared a future for us. Hope is not wishful thinking. It's not merely about wanting things to get better. No. Hope is about certain in the unseen, the belief that regardless of what we face today, God's plans for us are greater than any setback or struggle we might encounter. It is the assurance that the difficulties of the present are simply part of the process, not the end of the story. When we understand the power of hope, we stop being victims of our circumstances. Instead, we become victors in the midst of our trials. Hope doesn't eliminate the storms, it gives us the strength to sail through them. It is the anchor in our souls that keeps us grounded even when everything around us is shifting. It is the belief that there is something more, something better, just beyond our current view. Hope is the fuel that drives us forward. It tells us that even though the road may seem long and the journey hard, there is a destination with a purpose, God's purpose. And in that purpose, we will find peace, prosperity, and a future filled with His blessing. The power of hope, according to this verse, isn't just about surviving life, it's about thriving in life. It's about stepping into the future with confidence, knowing that your steps are directed by a God who has already seen the path and knows the outcome. So today I ask you, what are you hoping for? What are you placing your faith in? What are you waiting for external circumstances to change before you believe your life can get better? Or are you willing to stand firm in the hope that God's plan for your life is greater than anything you can imagine? No matter how things appear right now, when you place your trust in the fact that God has a good plan for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, hope becomes not just a feeling but a decision. A decision to believe when everything around you says it's impossible. A decision to act as though the future you desire is already on its way. And remember, hope doesn't operate in isolation. It's not just a passive emotion. It requires action. You can't sit back and wait for things to happen. God's plans for your future are powerful, but they also require you to engage in the process. Hope drives you to move, to take steps in faith, and to align your actions with the vision you hold in your heart. In conclusion, let this truth sink deep into your spirit. Hope is the bridge between today's struggles and tomorrow's success. If you walk in the confidence of God's plan, your hope will give you the strength to keep moving forward no matter how challenging the journey might seem. May you walk forward today with the power of hope in your heart, knowing that the future you desire is not only possible but guaranteed by the one who holds the world in His hands. Hope is rooted in a divine purpose. Hope is not just wishful thinking, but the confidence that God has a specific plan for our lives, one that is designed to prosper us and give us a future no matter what we may be facing in the present. Hope empowers action. True hope isn't passive. It requires us to step forward in faith, trust God's plan, and align our actions with the vision He has for us. Hope drives us to keep moving forward even when circumstances are tough. Hope bridges present struggles and future success. Hope connects the challenges of today with the promise of tomorrow's success. It helps us navigate difficulties with the belief that God's purpose for our lives will ultimately lead to our prosperity and fulfillment. These 3 points emphasize the transformative power of hope when we understand it as both a belief and an active force in our lives. Would you like to dive deeper into any of these? Hope is rooted in a divine purpose. This statement encapsulates a profound truth that speaks to the core of human existence. It suggests that the very essence of hope is not merely an abstract feeling, but something tangible and deeply connected to the Creator's intention for each of us. If we were to examine our lives through the lens of hope, we would see that it's not about wishful thinking or a desire for random, fleeting outcomes. Rather, it's about embracing the truth that our lives have meaning, and that meaning is tied to a purpose much greater than ourselves. To understand the depth of this idea, we must first recognize that purpose isn't something we create on our own. We don't exist because of mere chance or randomness. Every single one of us has been designed with intentionality. And within that design is a purpose that is both unique and significant. In the grand narrative of life, our purpose is a thread woven into the fabric of a divine plan. Hope, therefore, becomes the awareness that we are part of something much bigger than the challenges and struggles we encounter in our daily lives. The book of Jeremiah 29:11 captures this truth perfectly. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. These words are not just comforting, but foundational to understanding that the hope we carry in our hearts is grounded in a divine purpose. The verse reveals that God, the creator of all things, has a plan specifically designed for each of us. This plan is not arbitrary. It's one of prosperity, of good and not harm. And it ultimately leads us to a future full of hope. If we understand that our hope is rooted in a divine purpose, we begin to see that hope isn't about expecting random blessings or mere good luck. It's about the assurance that our lives have meaning and direction, even when the road ahead is unclear. Our hope is anchored in the truth that the divine purpose for our lives cannot be thwarted by the circumstances we face. No matter how bleak or difficult life may seem at times, there is a deeper reality at work, one that assures us that our lives are part of something much larger and that purpose will unfold according to God's timing. Consider the fact that hope, when it is rooted in purpose, transforms the way we view our struggles. When we encounter hardship, it's easy to lose sight of our purpose. The weight of challenges can sometimes cloud our vision and we can begin to feel lost, overwhelmed, or even abandoned. But if we recognize that the difficulties we face are not a result of purposeless, but a part of a larger design, our perspective shifts. The trials we face become a part of the journey toward the fulfillment of that divine purpose. We may not always understand why certain things happen or why we go through certain trials, but we can rest in the assurance that these experiences are part of a greater plan. Hope reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there is a purpose unfolding behind the scenes. This truth also calls us to examine the way we live our lives. If we believe that our hope is rooted in divine purpose, then every decision we make, every action we take, and every goal we set becomes an opportunity to align ourselves with that purpose. This requires a level of intentionality in our lives. We cannot live aimlessly or allow life's distractions to pull us away from the purpose we are meant to fulfill. Each of us has a unique calling, a specific contribution to make to the world. The choices we make daily should be guided by the awareness that we are living with purpose, and that purpose is not simply for our own benefit, but for a greater good that impacts others as well. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of personal success and material gain. Our society often places a heavy emphasis on individual achievement, wealth, and status. While these things can bring temporary satisfaction, they do not provide the lasting fulfillment that comes from living with purpose. Purpose grounds us and gives us a deeper sense of significance, one that transcends the fleeting rewards of external accomplishments. When we live with purpose, We live with the knowledge that we are contributing to something greater than ourselves. And this brings a sense of fulfillment that no material possession can offer. Hope rooted in purpose also compels us to look beyond ourselves, to see how our actions affect others. If our lives are part of a divine plan, then our purpose is not just for our benefit, but for the benefit of those around us. Every person we encounter, every relationship we build, and every opportunity we have to serve others is a chance to fulfill our purpose in a way that positively impacts the world. The purpose of our lives is connected to the well-being of others, and the hope we carry within us is meant to be shared, not hoarded. When we embrace the idea that our lives have a divine purpose, we begin to see that we are all interconnected. Our hope becomes a light that can help guide others toward the fulfillment of their own purposes. This understanding also frees us from the limitations of comparison. In a world that constantly tells us we need to be more, do more, and have more, it's easy to get trapped in the comparison game. We look at others and measure our worth based on what they have or what they have accomplished. But when we understand that our purpose is unique, and that hope is rooted in God's specific plan for our lives, we are free from the need to compare. Our worth is not determined by how we stack up against others, but by the fact that we are each part of a greater plan, designed with purpose and intentionality. We are valuable not because of what we achieve in comparison to others, but because we are fulfilling the role we were created for. Living with hope rooted in purpose also requires patience. Purpose does not always unfold on our timeline. There will be moments of waiting, of uncertainty, and of doubt. But in those moments, hope is what sustains us. Hope reminds us that the delays and detours we experience are not signs of failure, but opportunities for growth and preparation. God's plan for us is always unfolding. And sometimes the waiting period is where we are being refined and strengthened for the purpose that lies ahead. In these times, our hope is not in the immediate outcome, but in the certainty that the divine plan is still in motion, even when we cannot see it. When we understand that hope is rooted in divine purpose, we begin to live with greater confidence and assurance. We walk with the knowledge that we are not wandering aimlessly. We are on a journey guided by a purpose that will ultimately lead to a future filled with hope. Every challenge, every setback, and every success is part of the larger plan that God has for us. Hope, therefore, is not just an emotion we feel in passing moments, but a deep-rooted belief that keeps us grounded in the truth that our lives have meaning, and that meaning is connected to something far greater than ourselves. As we move forward in life, let us embrace the power of hope, knowing that it is rooted in divine purpose. Let us live intentionally, recognizing that every step we take is part of a larger story. And let us trust that, even in moments of uncertainty, the hope that comes from knowing God's plan for us will guide us toward a future filled with promise, fulfillment, and abundant joy. The power of hope, rooted in divine purpose, is what allows us to move forward with faith, courage, and a sense of destiny. Hope empowers action. This idea goes beyond a simple optimistic outlook or the wish that things might improve. It's a deeper, more transformative force, one that propels us into motion and encourages us to act with confidence, even in the face of uncertainty. When we embrace hope, it's not merely a passive feeling of waiting for something good to happen. It is an active, dynamic energy that drives us forward, urging us to take the steps necessary to shape the future we desire. Hope does not leave us stuck in the present. It pulls us into the future, challenging us to step beyond our current limitations and into the potential that awaits us. Too often, people mistakenly believe that hope is simply a feeling or an emotion, something we hold onto or wait for external circumstances to change. While hope can certainly inspire positive emotions, true hope doesn't stop there. It reaches deeper. It moves beyond the passive realm of thought and transforms into an active force that shapes our decisions, behaviors, and ultimately our destiny. When we recognize that hope is not just a desire for things to improve, but a catalyst for action, it changes the way we approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities in our lives. So hope empowers action because it gives us a sense of direction and purpose. It allows us to see beyond the present moment, to imagine a better future, and to believe that we have the power to make that future a reality. It is through hope that we discover the courage to move forward even when the road ahead seems unclear. Without hope, we are left with despair, which leads to paralysis. We become stuck in our circumstances, unable to move, unable to act, because we have no belief that things will ever change. But with hope, we are energized and equipped to take the first step, and then the next, and the next after that. One of the most profound aspects of hope is its ability to inspire us to take risks. Life is full of uncertainty, and fear of the unknown can often prevent us from taking the necessary steps to achieve our goals. But hope, when it is firmly rooted in faith and purpose, enables us to overcome that fear. It gives us the boldness to step out in trust, knowing that the future holds promise even if we don't know exactly what it will look like. Hope fuels our willingness to take risks, whether it's pursuing a new career, starting a business, or following a passion that feels uncertain. Without hope, we might hesitate to take that first step, fearing failure or disappointment. But hope empowers us to act in the face of those fears, knowing that even in failure there is growth and opportunity. Hope also compels us to be persistent. When things don't go as planned, when obstacles arise, when setbacks occur, it is easy to become discouraged. Without hope, we might throw in the towel, convinced that the challenges we face are too great to overcome. But hope reminds us that setbacks are not the end of the story. Hope gives us the strength to persevere, to continue pushing forward even when progress seems slow or uncertain. It assures us that our efforts are not in vain and that there is a reward on the other side of our perseverance. The ability to keep going when the journey gets tough is one of the most powerful gifts hope provides. It keeps us moving, keeps us trying, keeps us striving, even when success seems distant. This persistence is what leads to breakthroughs, to accomplishments, to the realization of the future we've been hoping for. Moreover, hope empowers action by shifting our mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. When we are filled with despair or doubt, we focus on all the reasons why things can't happen, why our dreams are out of reach, or why our efforts will fail. We become trapped in a cycle of negativity, where every obstacle seems insurmountable. But hope shifts our focus. It helps us see possibilities where there were once only barriers. It enables us to look at challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones that will help us grow, learn, and ultimately reach our goals. Hope opens our eyes to the resources, support, and opportunities that might otherwise be overlooked. When we are hopeful, we begin to see beyond the obstacles, and that vision sparks action. We no longer view our challenges as impossible, we view them as opportunities to rise, adapt, and grow stronger. Hope also connects us with a deeper sense of purpose. Purpose and action are intertwined. When we know why we are doing something, we are far more likely to take action toward it. Hope gives us the clarity of purpose that drives us to pursue our goals with passion and determination. It tells us that our actions matter, that our efforts are part of something greater than ourselves. Without hope, it's easy to become disillusioned with the world around us and to question the value of our efforts. But hope reaffirms that what we are doing matters, even if we don't always see the immediate results. It fuels our desire to act and reminds us that every step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to our vision. In the pursuit of hope-driven action, we often find that the process itself is as important as the end result. When hope inspires us to act, we are often forced to grow in ways that we might never have anticipated. Action requires us to step outside of our comfort zones, to take on challenges that test our limits, and to face fears that we may have been avoiding. It stretches us, strengthens us, and forces us to become more than we were before. Hope doesn't just help us reach a destination, it transforms us along the way. As we take action, we learn, adapt, and evolve. The hope we carry empowers us to see each challenge as an opportunity to develop new skills, gain wisdom, and build resilience. It's in the process of acting on hope that we discover more about ourselves and our capacity to achieve great things. Hope also motivates us to keep going, not just for our own sake, but for the sake of others. Often our actions are driven by a vision of how they will impact the world around us. When we believe that our actions are contributing to something larger than ourselves, it gives our hope even greater power. We are no longer acting solely for personal gain, but for the good of others, for the betterment of the world, and for the fulfillment of a higher calling. So hope drives us to serve, to contribute, and to make a difference. It compels us to act selflessly, to do what we can to help others along the way, even if our journey isn't easy. When we understand that hope empowers action, we realize that it is not a passive force. Hope is an active, living energy that calls us to step into the future with confidence. It urges us to act, to move, to create. It enables us to dream and then take the necessary steps to bring those dreams into reality. Hope gives us the strength to act in the face of adversity, to persist in the face of setbacks, and to believe in the possibility of a better future. With hope, we are no longer passive observers of our lives, but active participants in shaping our destiny. When we allow hope to lead the way, we are empowered to take the bold actions necessary to achieve our goals. Hope propels us forward, encourages us to overcome obstacles, and gives us the courage to take risks. It enables us to act with purpose, knowing that the journey is just as important as the destination. Hope empowers action by changing the way we think, the way we approach challenges, and the way we pursue our dreams. It is the driving force behind everything we do, pushing us to move forward, to grow, and to achieve. And in the end, it is through the actions we take with hope that we transform our lives and the world around us. Hope bridges present struggles and future success. This truth is profound because it speaks directly to the heart of human experience. All of us face moments in our lives where we find ourselves in the midst of challenges, whether they are emotional, financial, relational, or even spiritual. In those moments, it can feel as though success is far off, almost out of reach, and the present struggle is all-consuming. Yet there is a powerful force that enables us to navigate through the pain, the hardship, and the uncertainty, and that is hope. Hope is not just a fleeting feeling or a vague wish for better days ahead. It is a bridge that connects the struggles of today to the success of tomorrow, guiding us forward even though the path seems unclear or treacherous. The struggle we face today does not define the entirety of our journey, and it certainly does not determine our destiny. Too often we become so consumed by the difficulties we face in the present that we lose sight of the bigger picture. We forget that our current struggles are often only temporary, and that there is something greater waiting on the other side. Hope allows us to keep moving forward in the midst of those struggles. It gives us the perspective to see beyond the obstacles in front of us and recognize that these challenges are part of a larger plan, a plan that is leading us toward greater success, fulfillment, and purpose. When we are in the thick of a struggle, it's easy to feel like we are stuck in an unending cycle of hardship. We might even question whether it will ever end, whether things will ever get better. In those moments, hope becomes the critical element that helps us to break free from the grip of despair. It is the belief that our current struggles do not have the final word. Hope assures us that there is something better waiting for us on the other side, and that we are not alone in our journey. It reminds us that we have the strength, the resilience, and the capacity to overcome whatever obstacles stand in our way. Hope also helps us understand that struggles are often not just random events, but opportunities for growth. In the present, we may feel overwhelmed by the weight of our challenges, but hope invites us to shift our perspective. What if the struggles we are facing today are shaping us for the success we will experience tomorrow? What if every trial is an opportunity to develop the character, skills, and wisdom needed to navigate future success? Hope allows us to see our challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks. It helps us understand that the difficulties of today are often preparing us for the victories of tomorrow. Hope also gives us the endurance to press on. Success rarely comes easily or instantly. It is often the result of a long, difficult journey, and during that journey we will face numerous setbacks. Without hope, we may give up too soon, unable to see beyond our immediate struggles. Hope fuels our persistence. It reminds us that success is not an overnight achievement, but a process that requires time, patience, and resilience. When we hold on to hope, we are able to endure the hardships of today because we trust that they are leading us to something greater in the future. That hope also empowers us to take action. One of the greatest gifts hope gives us is the ability to take purposeful steps forward even when we can't see the full picture. In the midst of a struggle, it's easy to feel paralyzed, unsure of what to do next. We may be so overwhelmed by the challenges before us that we can't see a clear path forward. Hope, however, inspires us to move, to take the next step, however small it may seem. It encourages us to trust that even though we don't have all the answers right now, our actions will lead us closer to our success. Hope gives us the courage to keep going, to continue making progress even when the road is difficult and the outcome is uncertain.